Hello! Today's workshop is a bit unusual. I'd like to propose you an idea. Well, the idea is not quite new, but I'd like to share my personal experience of implementing it. There has been a lot of talk on combination of materials. Weaving is often combined with ceramics, throw needles. I mean, weaving combines natural materials with our traditional paper tubes. It is what I'm going to propose you today. I've used the plants growing in our local area. Unfortunately, I cannot tell you the name of the tree and bush I've used. I'm going to identify them as soon as the leaves come out and share the name in the comments. Meanwhile, you can look around and apply any branches you like. My first work combining paper tubes with natural twigs was these three. Here I used normal willow, I chose rather thick rods, removed the bark and entwined them with paper tubes. As well, I used such a branch as a handle. I liked the idea and started developing it. The second item was an autumn bouquet. You will see the link. My next experiment was this vase. Take a look, please. It is hollow. I used the twigs as basic poles and twined them with paper working tubes. Then I shaped the bouquet. By the way, the flowers were made of natural materials too. Then followed hand fans. Natural twigs were used as a base and twined with shortened rows of paper weaving. The hand fans are multicolored. At first I created a dark one, then I felt like some contrast and made a light hand fan. It can be used as a decorative element for your interior. Then came an idea of a shelf. The base was made of twigs too. You can hang it to the wall. The next work is experimental plates like these. I used thin twigs both lengthwise and crosswise combined with paper tubes. This was my first experiment. I just cut the tails along the edge. In the next items I trimmed the edge. I'm talking about these two nests. Besides, I tried decorating the nest with twigs. The twigs are interwoven along the nest edge. Well, there are quite a lot of ideas, all of them are interesting to my mind. Moreover, Easter is coming, so I believe this idea can be useful for interior decoration, for working with kids, for creating Easter souvenirs, etc. Today I'd like to tell you a few words on how to weave such a panel picture. It is based on natural twigs too, entwined with some paper tubes. So let's start creating a panel picture. I sought out the twigs beforehand. The thinnest ones are perfect for nests. The medium twigs are good as a base for our panel picture. The thickest twigs can be used as a base for a hand fan or for a round plate as well as handles. Let's put them inside so far. A few words on creating a panel picture. The twigs are used as a base. I apply a profile. I choose a few twigs for a base, after which I start weaving in any technique chosen. This item was woven in normal printed cotton technique. This time I've decided to frame printed cotton with a rope for a change. I use branches of 5-6 twigs as a base. Here I've got 6 twigs in this bunch. Now I'm weaving a row in a normal printed cotton technique. I've seen a lot of nice panel pictures made of not only twigs but different fragrant herbs. So there is a lot of space for your imagination. In my case, I made a row of twigs, after which I'm weaving a few rows of paper tubes. So the main peculiarity is that we have to shape the smooth cloth with the help of tubes. If you weave of twigs alone, the cloth is likely to slide apart, unless fastened somehow. With the help of tubes, you can hold the sides to prevent the basic twigs from sliding apart. Take a look, please. I'm weaving up to the end and turning. Thanks to these turns, fastening the cloth together, the panel picture doesn't fall apart. Let me show you the point of turning. The rope has been woven. Now shift to printed cotton weave with both tubes at a time. This way. And continue. One row of printed cotton, the second row, and then shift back to rope-like technique again. Our main task is holding the extreme poles to prevent them from sliding apart. Let's repeat the point of turning once again. Finish weaving a rope. Now, to avoid intercrossing from the front side, make a turn this way. Got it? Then shift to printed cotton with 2 tubes. Onto the second pole under the third one. Continue weaving in a normal printed cotton technique with 2 tubes. Reach the edge and turn again. Weave one more row in a printed cotton technique. Then one more turn and shift to a rope technique again. When you finish weaving, varnish the panel picture. After it gets dry, cut the tails carefully. If you like, you can leave some twig tails uncut to keep the natural material visible. As for the tubes, I just cut the tails off carefully, very close. Since the item has already been varnished, it is not going to fall apart. As a result, you've got such a panel picture. You don't necessarily have to use it as a picture. You can make it a calendar stand, a key holder, it's up to your imagination. As well, I'd like to show you the funny first experiments with the idea. Take a look, please. The idea is rather interesting, however the material is not contrast and the very zest fades. It even made me disappointed of the idea at first. Then I tried and used the tubes of a contrast color, which has made the item attractive. Before I finish, let me repeat once again that it is not a traditional workshop. I just propose you an idea. There is no point suggesting any particular material since our channel is watched by subscribers from different areas. So I'm encouraging you to go outside, look around, take a notice of what grows locally and what can fit your particular picture, nest, plate or vase. As you see, the idea is multifunctional. It can be used both for decorative purposes alone and for practical one, like a shelf, plate or a stand. I mean, this idea can fit a wide range of applications. So I wish you to enjoy the flight of imagination, diligence and much spare time.